Okay, so this video, I'm gonna go over what carbs to eat, basically. So, whenever we eat carbs, right, the big thing is, a lot of people don't know if carbs are good or bad. Well, they can be bad if you have too much and too much of the wrong kind of carbs. So that's what I'm gonna try and give you a little bit of an idea on what carbs to eat and kind of why we're doing that just a little bit. So, this is basically an order on what carbs to start eating. So number 1 is your vegetables, number 2 fruits, and then number 3 are your dense carbs. So your vegetables, you should probably know a little bit about that. On my food chart, you'll see all this broken down as well. But vegetables, broccoli, asparagus, just onions, whatever kind of thing. And then fruits, strawberries, apples, things like that. And then your dense carbs are basically going to be like corn tortillas, rice, sweet potatoes, things like that are going to be more in the dense carbs area. All right. So why are we eating more vegetables? Why do we want to eat that majority of the time? Well, that's because basically it's either I have to look at it again, but wish I remembered it. It's like a thermal effect, or I don't know, whatever it is, thermic something, whatever. I'll be sure to try and put that in there. But there's basically an effect that it has. So whenever you eat things that are more solid and dense, and harder to break down, basically harder for your body to break down, basically, it's actually going to benefit you more to eat those things. Because if you eat something like broccoli, right, that's hard, dense, solid, it's hard to break down, it's low in calories, it's low in carbs, you can eat a ton of it and you won't gain any weight because it is really hard to overeat broccoli. But whenever it is more solid and dense and things like that, your body is actually going to use calories and carbs that are in that food to break it down. So let's say you have a cup of broccoli, and let's say a cup of broccoli is 100 calories, right? Well, since broccoli is solid and it's very difficult for your body to break down, and it's not, kind of like mushy or anything, your body's probably going to use about 5 to 10% of those calories. All right. So if it's using 10%, so it's going to use 90 or whatever 10% is of that. But it's going to use 10%, so 10 calories or whatever, and then some carbs in there. So if you have that, well, now you're consuming only 90 calories and not 100. All right. So your body's using 10 calories to break down the broccoli you just ate. So rather than consuming all 100 calories of that broccoli, you're now only consuming 90. All right. So that's kind of the small benefit of it as well. Fruits is going to be a little bit less because they're not as solid or anything like that. And then your dense carbs like potatoes and rice and things like that, that's going to be closer to 0 on the effect of things. So whenever you have 100 calories worth of rice, well, your body's probably going to consume about 100 calories worth of rice because it's going to take 0 time for your body to break it down. It's just going to go straight into basically your bloodstream and then your muscles, things like that. And then, once those are overflowed, it will go and turn into fat. So that's basically why we want to stick to more vegetable-based things, because it's lower in calories, it's lower in carbs, and then it also requires your body to work harder to break it down. All right. So next thing, fruits. We want to stick to things that are more fruit-based. All right, because same thing with vegetables. These two have higher fiber content. I mean, dense carbs have fiber in it too. They have a little bit higher fiber content, but these are also less caloric than dense carbs. And then this effect is a little bit more. So this is probably around 5 to 10%. Fruits are probably 3 to 8%, depending on what fruits you have. All right, basically. And then this is also more natural sugars. All right. So whenever you eat something like an apple or a banana or something like that, it does contain sugar. It's just very easy carbs for your body to consume and take up, but it's more natural sugar, so you're not getting a ton of kind of that bad sugar that we don't want from processed foods. All right. So that would be the reason why we want to stick to fruits next. And then your dense carbs, best time to eat more of your dense carbs is going to be kind of around your workout, because whenever you work out and you power and you move and all that kind of stuff, you do high intensity types of exercise or whatever it is, you start squatting, all that kind of stuff, where your body's going to use carbs first as the first form of energy. And then your dense carbs, since it's easy for your body to digest and move back into your system, this is whenever you want to eat it, because it'll turn into sugar, it'll go right into your blood glucose and your glycogen stores, and then from there, as those levels go back up, then it'll start pouring into your fat. But pretty much after you work out, this would be the time to eat more of those, beans, tortillas, like corn tortilla, and then, rice and potatoes and things like that. That'd be a better time to have it. You still don't want to do too much of these, all right? If you're trying to lose body fat and lose weight and that kind of stuff, you're gonna sit more in these two zones, all right? Those two types of foods, preferably more here than fruits, but it's fine if you do half kind of thing. I would say if you're trying to lose weight, you should have this maybe once a day. So if you plan on having rice, chicken, and broccoli or something like that, or whatever it is, stick to having that rice only one time a day. And then once you start losing more and more body fat and weight and that kind of stuff, that's whenever you can kind of increase the amount of dense carbs you consume.